Hello.
Welcome to the Voices of Atlas, guys. Woo!
Woo!
uh, you know, if you look on the screen, you might notice there's something different about this week. We have Hannah at your Asian. You said was that right?
Your favorite Asian?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, your
Asian. Yeah. So Hannah's replaced Johnny this week. Thank God. Just kidding. We love you, Johnny. But Hannah, why don't you introduce yourself and plug yourself, because everyone should follow you.
Okay. I'm Hannah. I'm not really sure exactly what you want. I'm from the Pacific Northwest. I love Marvel. Obviously, really big fan of Yelena, hence the vest. Yeah, all my socials are your favorite, in case anyone wanted to
go follow
how to say that.
Thank you. Thanks for being here.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I'm so excited for this.
Yeah, we're excited to have you.
Your Yelena cosplays. Oh, I'm so glad. I'm just like duetting them as Kate. I'm like, these
They're so
mixed Asians as these cosplayers. I'm like, I love it so much. Also duetting Laiba too. I'm like, yes.
Look at us mixed Asians just taking over these white led roles.
Take over cosplaying.
Exactly. But everyone else, how's your bin?
Oh man, my bin is I just came out of a job interview and I feel like I killed it. So if I don't get this job, I'm gonna feel like my self-esteem's gonna take a nosedive. But other than that, other than that, I'm doing great. I'm doing fantastic. Yeah, I've been drawing a lot more. My little art series is doing well. Hoping to just fail upwards that way. That's my goal for this year. Yeah, it's me. That's how my bin's been. Yeah.
Where can everyone find you there?
Oh yeah, everyone can find me at my name is completely wrong now because I changed everything to Amazing Nikendra. So you can find me at Amazing Nikendra on TikTok. You can find me Amazing Nikendra on Instagram, Twitter, and on Twitch, which I've been streaming on Monday and Tuesday. So if you want to catch me doing 10-second sketches on Tuesday,
follow Nick on Twitch.
It's
real
so fun.
Yeah.
It's real
really
fun, especially the 10-second Tuesday. Yeah. Oh man, I just demand and send too many emojis and just make him anxious. It's great.
Which, by the way, we have emojis now if you're subscribed to the channel.
Yes,
we do.
Yes. So if you subscribe to us on Twitch, you get our emotes. You have a crying faced Nick. You have a hard eyes Laiba and just an angry Victoria Loki, because
it's just my favorite one to use.
Yeah.
I love the angry Victoria.
It's like honestly my mood encapsulated, especially today. That's my bin. I had 4 hours of sleep last night. I've been going and going, any little thing. And my favorite Harry Potter quote from the movies is, "I'm just so angry."
Yeah.
All the time. So that emoji's perfect. But Laiba, how's your bin?
My bin is pretty great. We have a lot of exciting things happening, which make me really excited. Ooh. One where you might have seen on Instagram yesterday, and it involves High School Musical.
Oh yeah.
Don't know how it's gonna happen, but it's gonna happen. And it's gonna be great.
It should be pure and utter fantastic chaos.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be great. But my little emoji is basically how I've been feeling the entire week, cause I don't know. I love it. I'm great. We're doing great. We're doing good. Doing good.
Got good bins here.
Got great bins everywhere.
Yeah.
So
the best bins.
Yeah, great bins. But yeah, if you want those emotes, subscribe to us here on Twitch. Spam them in the chat because I love seeing them. They make me so happy. So yeah, if not, you can't subscribe, just follow us. Mm-hmm. We love it either way. But if you missed the live recording of this, Our podcast is on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and YouTube, which is really exciting. Give us thumbs ups, likes, 5 stars, ratings. We love to see it. We really, really love to see it. And we also have Discord too.
Oh yeah,
We have a Discord. We don't plug it enough, but we have it, and the emotes are also there, and that's free to use however you want within our server. It's great.
Yes.
And as Laiba mentioned, High School Musical tomorrow. That's going to be happening on Stream Lounge,
Woo.
which is great because they're our friends and we love working with them. And the great thing about Stream Lounge too is if you can't make it to go watch High School Musical 1 with us on Friday, it's 10 p.m. PST. No, 10 p.m. EST, 7 p.m. PST.
It's a lot of math.
Yeah, lots of math. But if you can't make it, we want you to join. But if you can't make it, Stream Lounge, you can just watch it with us on your own time.
Yeah.
The video on demands stay there like Twitch does. It's fantastic. So we got the High School Musical coming up on Friday. Laiba wants to start watching Punisher. So see that coming soon. And starting on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, we're also going to be streaming WandaVision. So go follow us on there, and it's going to be fucking great.
Yeah.
It's going to be amazing.
We're thinking about having a lot of watch time. So, hey, we're nerds. It's what we do.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But this episode, if you can tell already, we have a gorgeous Helena vest in our virtual backgrounds. We're talking Black Widow. So we watched it yesterday on Stream Lounge. Had a great time. If you missed Johnny, he's on that call. Same with Ellie, was able to join us there. So you could watch us shit post and talk about how just the random shit we point out during the movies. You can watch it there. Chat, feel free to pipe in.
Yeah.
Interact with us.
Pretty active today. Hello, everybody.
This is fantastic. Hello. Yeah. I know Johnny should be in the chat.
Oh my
too.
God. I did not even see all of those.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's going to be our episode today of Black Widow's been out for a while, but there will be spoilers. And if you cared, if you're still looking out for them, it's been a while, but respect. But Laiba, do you have anything to gaslight our American friends today?
Yeah. There's 2 of us now.
Nick, you're not alone.
Oh my god.
I'm not alone this time.
I don't know. I'm not really creative on the gaslighting. My one moment was a beaver tail moment, but I don't know.
I don't have anything. Oh.
Should we come up with something for once? I don't even know what's like uniquely United States.
We learn everything about America, which is shocking.
Okay. Hannah, can you side with me today that a double-double
I will side with you today.
Double-double is a burger and not a coffee?
A double-double is a coffee.
No, a double-double is a burger.
I have no idea what you just said.
You don't know what a double-double is?
There's no In-N-Out.
There's no In-N-Outs in Seattle. I'm still alone on this.
There's no In-N-Outs in Seattle.
This is awful. I hate it here. Never mind. Forget it.
Oh,
my bad.
Wiccan is asking, do y'all really do the syrup and snow thing? Yes, we do.
Yes, absolutely.
That's
we
so
do.
Gross. How do you know it's clean snow?
No, it's clean. It's actual like clean ice snow.
A lot of times they make their own snow for it. So if you really want to in your backyard, you can.
It's kind
wouldn't
of gross.
recommend make your own snow. That's pretty ideal. But you boil the syrup on the stove, and then you just pour it into the snow, and then you take the popsicle stick and you just roll it. And there's little ice particles in it, and it's kind of crunchy and it's kind of chewy, and then it just melts in your mouth.
Yeah,
delicious.
I don't believe in snow. I'm from California.
I don't know what it's called. I think we just call it like maple candy, right?
Just maple taffy.
Yeah.
Maple taffy.
Yeah. But you don't like. Oh, then you would have hated in Ontario the last few days. I mean, also New York and Michigan and stuff, but we had
Danielle's
30
with me.
centimeters, 40 centimeters.
Canada's not
of
even
snow.
a real country. I don't really know what Canada is, actually.
I've been to Canada. I can't say it's not a real country. Sorry.
Anyway.
I'm going to the mountains this weekend, so I'm going to show y'all Canada. Going
Oh,
ice
She gonna
skating.
show us. She gonna show us Canada, guys.
I'll show you
Alberta
Canada.
mountains are.
I can see them
Properly
from my
peak.
house. They're very pretty.
That's
It would
nice.
be a really good way to die.
No. A cool way to
The
die.
best way.
Cool way.
The only way. Okay.
But yeah, fucking Black Widow.
Yeah.
So, you know, I'm trying to figure out where to start because we have it in the outline, but I kind of want to start with what did you think about the timing of this movie's release before we get into the details, before we get into the meat of it?
Ooh, I have thoughts and opinions.
Hannah, why don't you go
Tell,
first since you're our
Hannah,
guest?
do
Yeah, go ahead.
tell.
Go.
Sorry. Oh, I think everyone can agree that this movie should have come out a lot sooner
Yeah.
than it did.
Yeah.
I think it would have made more of an impact if it came out before Endgame, but I don't think it lessened the impactfulness. I think it just would have been different.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
I think that we would have seen more of like Natasha's vulnerability and like what she actually sacrificed on Boromir. But I think they kind of did what they could with like retcon and like going back and trying to build an origin story for her. So that's just my thoughts.
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, I made a video about it earlier this week. It was just like, I don't like any of the Avengers really, and like the reason I don't like Natasha is because she didn't have anything to begin with. She's just there to kind of just, you know, perpetuate the rest of the story of the men. It's only later, which is a lot later than it should have been, that like you get context of like how she, like why she feels so bad, what was so bad about the Red Room and stuff like that. And that part is substantially important to her character.
For sure.
So I get that. Like, it just, I don't know where it could have fit, where like it could have been better. I don't know, because like you do have the end credit scene with her with Madame Hydra, so it's like, okay, well, she had to have passed away for that end credit scene to exist. So I guess I had to be after Endgame, but like just because of the timing of like waiting so long, it was like what, a year delay, year and a couple months.
It was a year and a bit delay from
Yeah.
when it's originally supposed to be released. But yeah, I feel like it's like they should have put this into production a lot sooner.
yeah.
My only thing is like we wouldn't have had Flo.
Mhm.
So
Yeah. It was good. I mean,
they
like,
did what they could, you know.
I like, as a movie that like not rebuilds Natasha, because like towards the end, like she started, I feel like she became like an independent character. She was already like a fan favorite of people, but I think this is like really solidified like what she was contributing to like the MCU, as opposed to just like being there as a plot device for most of them, which I thought was like way better for her. Yes, but there you go.
Yeah.
What about you, Laiba?
The timing of this movie was just awful. Not just like the release of it, but like the making of it as well. Because, you know, as like a kid watching the Avengers, there's only one female Avenger and she doesn't really have that much personality. And I felt like growing up, I felt obligated to like her just because she was the only girl in there. Cause like, I don't know, it like you grow up with like girl power and stuff, but it doesn't really help when the only woman in the team is treated like an object and doesn't really have any emotional backstory at all. So that's why I didn't really feel like I was excited for this film, but I also wasn't at the same time, because I was like, what did she give us throughout the MCU?
Yeah.
She didn't really give us anything. We didn't really have a story, and I think it's good that they had Flo in it, because obviously we all love Yelena, but like it makes it less impactful, because it was produced by a woman, it was directed by a woman,
It's written by a man.
women, written by a man.
There's at least a man in there for that period.
There's one man, but it doesn't really help. So, but I do love this movie, but it just like there's no like, where's the passion? There's no passion. But yeah,
but it's sad to see kind of how some fans reacted to it too. Like you're like all of a sudden turning against this movie when
Yeah.
it's just like Nats had nothing, and there's a lot of controversy around that and the villains in this movie. There's only one villain in this movie, but
Yeah.
people like to argue otherwise and debate it.
Hmm.
So, what's everyone's thoughts on Taskmaster and Dreykov? Because that is the debate. People like to call Taskmaster the villain because she was marketed as such. But we all know she wasn't the villain in this movie.
Hmm. I always like this. I throw in the comparison between like Taskmaster and Death Dealer, and like Death
Yes.
Dealer was in the movie for like 10 minutes, did absolutely nothing. You could have taken Death Dealer out of the movie; it would have been the same ass movie. But
Mhm.
Yeah.
everyone was like, "Yo, Death Dealer's the best," and I'm like,
Like,
he
it
did
would have been
literally
cool.
nothing.
It would have been cool if they like I know we're not talking about Shang-Chi, but
Right,
it
right.
would have been cool if they like added more depth to his character, because like, you know, he had that like connection with Sean, right?
Mhm.
But then you don't see anything else.
Yeah.
You don't see Sean do
You don't
anything
even
to the
see
Death
Death
Dealer.
Dealer's face. Either.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's like, is it even the same Death Dealer?
I
I wasn't
don't even
sure,
know.
but
I don't know.
But it's like thinking in comparison to like Death Dealer and like Taskmaster, it's so crazy the different kind of like reaction between the two, when essentially it's like
It's a very visceral reaction when they expect a man and it's a woman.
yeah,
Like, let's be
Yeah.
clear.
it's
I
that's what
love
it
that
is.
twist. I love that twist
It's
when I was
so
watching
good.
it. I was like, oh shit.
I thought it made sense. Like, I thought it tracked with the storyline and how many times they brought up Budapest and like how many times like Dreykov was brought up and like Dreykov's
Dreykov's
daughter. I was
daughter.
like, yeah, of course, Taskmaster is going to be
Dreykov's daughter.
Dreykov's daughter. Like, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So many people are so upset about that. But
Like,
Yeah.
if Taskmaster was a dude, do you think that Taskmaster would have got a different reaction?
yes,
Yeah,
Because,
no,
like-
absolutely. It
also
would not
feel
be
like
the same
people-
conversation.
People would have been confused.
What
Do you know
mean?
what I mean? If
What-
like if Taskmaster is like gets revealed and it's not Dreykov's daughter and it's just a
It
man,
wouldn't have made any sense.
I would have been like, who the hell? Who's this? Like, who's
Yeah.
this?
Right? Like, I don't know. Like, she was there for the plot. She wasn't a villain. Like, it's like,
No.
I know.
what did she do? Like, not calling any of the other Widows villains, but just her.
Right.
Like, she was the
Yeah.
bait and switch in the like the trailers. But Dreykov though,
Oh,
he's
dude, I hate that guy so much.
Oh,
I think he's the scariest villain in the MCU that I've ever seen.
Scariest.
I think I could agree with that.
yeah. He scared me and he also like grossed me out. Like there was that
Yeah.
one scene where he was talking about, he's like, you're smelling my pheromones. I was like, that is disgusting. I was like, oh. I was like, ew.
Watching it yesterday on stream, like both Ellie and I were like, the hair is on standing up on the back of her neck. He's just so close to Natasha, speaking so at her,
I'm like,
touching
"Get
her
away."
without consent, and just
Yeah.
He's like the worst. Like he embodies like the worst
And he's so realistic, though.
being a man. I think like he's not even like the. I mean, no, because he like doesn't he punch her or like
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Like
he
a
just
few
like
times.
He like
physically.
slaps her.
He's
and,
literally like
punches
has all the traits of like a terrible person. You know.
And he
Um,
literally says, like, oh, like the women are garbage.
Yeah.
Like that's why I use women.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's just like
All of
everything.
his bodyguards were men too, his personal bodyguards.
It's no, that guy sucks. That guy is terrible. Props to the actor though. I don't know the actor's name. That guy to just make you feel like disgusting while you're watching that entire scene.
I like couldn't look at him when I
Yeah.
was watching. I was like, you disgust me. I was like, I can't look.
Yeah.
I think that's like one of the reasons why he was like he's such an unsettling villain is because he's so realistic and like
Yeah.
I'm sure all of us have worked with someone like that.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like there's
Yeah.
if it's being enabled, there's nothing you can do except just like either take it or leave.
Yeah.
And it sucks.
Looking at the chat, yeah, Wiccan is definitely agreeing with you there.
Yeah.
Just so, and the way he's just like makes her like look down and try to submit, and I'm like, I know she's playing the part. She's doing a fabulous job playing her part and just playing into these guys' egos. She just give her all the information, which is a classic Natasha move, but like
it is like crazy like how real he can be, because like I work at a coffee shop, and the amount of like old men that just have the like they have the audacity to say things sometimes, and it's just really off-putting sometimes, because like it'll just be me like ringing them up, and they'll be like, "Hey, where the girls at?" And I was like, "That's a weird question. Don't ask me that. Like, not here. The coffee's $2.50. You can leave now." But it's so like disgusting, because that like mindset and that behavior still exists out there. But it's like so deeply ingrained. It's like, like, what do you do about it? Like, it's already happened. Okay, well, like, you gotta speak up against stuff like this. Like, you can't like have people talk to each other like that. You can't have like people like expect that this is okay. It's not okay. Like, this is awful. Dracoff is just like the embodiment of all that. It's just like really gross. So
that's why it makes me so uncomfortable when people try to say he's not.
I know, it's like, what are you
It's
talking
like
about?
he's not.
Like, what do you
what do you
see
mean?
yourself in him like that makes you feel like you need to defend him?
Yeah, it's so weird.
He literally had a button to say like, unalive yourself right now. Like,
I saw a TikTok video where a guy
he
was
broke
like,
her leg.
honestly, Dracoff is like a really relatable villain to me, and I'm like, I know to stay
Well,
away from you.
I don't know about that one.
I'm like, blocked.
That's not just like what Loki daddy issues.
That's the red
That's
flag
like-
factory right there. That's not. There's too much to unpack there.
Oh my God.
Going from that yucky stuff.
Yuck.
What is your favorite moments of the film? Because I have a number of them. And
Man.
it's just...
Don't look at my notes.
Everyone has notes. I never take notes. I just show up.
I
Everyone's like, "Oh, I brought notes." I was like, "I never have notes."
love the opening, not the opening, but like the title sequence.
Oh yeah.
And it like when I first watched it, I was like,
I was sobbing.
I was crying. I was literally just like, oh God. Because it kind of like hits you when you're like, oh shit, dope ass movie. But then you're like watching it and you're like, stuff like this still happens. And it's so scary and just like it makes you sick. But it's like, I love that they made that the title sequence, that they, you know, like Dracoff like put like splitting the girls up and
Yeah.
And like her father figure being like, oh, like it'll be okay, and then like they get ripped apart again. Like it wasn't okay.
Because all men do is lie.
Like they just throw you into that title sequence.
I'm outnumbered here. What do you want?
Oh my God. They like throw you in without warning, and it's like,
I think because like I think the first 20 minutes of the movie, like that bit included, like with the title sequence and everything, it becomes a lot more clear if it wasn't before that she was like literally being trafficked, and so were all these girls, and like so was Yelena and all these things. Like if it wasn't overtly clear, it's like Natasha has blue hair, so she doesn't get taken again, but she gets taken again, and then like just going through everything, seeing them separate, and it's absolutely heartbreaking, especially with the cover, like the cover that's playing during it.
Yeah. Oh my God. And then it also like hits you again too when Dracov's like LOL, or like even her like when Melinda is just like, oh no, like we paid for you. Like we
Yeah.
we just bought you.
Yeah.
We weren't giving up. Your mom was alive for a while.
Right.
Who knows who she was, but like it's like right in the feels.
Yeah, the intro scene I thought was really good. I think I like immediately didn't like Alexei the moment, like, cause like I thought because I get like I have the actor, what's his name,
Daniel Harbour, David Harbour.
David Harbour, yeah, like he's from Stranger Things, right? And he's like ultimate dad mode, right?
Dad.
Yeah, and he starts this movie as like ultimate dad, and then like the whole trafficking thing starts, and he's like, oh, I can get back in the field now, right? Like I can go back, and it's like, oh, you're just as bad as Dracoff, you know? Like you just only care as much as it benefits you, you know?
Yeah.
And like, yeah, he has like a little bit of a turn later on, but like it's still undertoned, you know, with like those like microaggressive like lines. Like he really is just like in it for himself. I'm like, I do believe he does care about them to an extent, but that's only because he's lost everything else. It's like, what else does he have left than this like fake family that he got to like construct for himself? Is it like,
I feel like you can really see that too in the American Pie moment with Yelena in the bedroom, and she's just like, what the fuck story? Why are you talking about you again? And he's just like, oh well, like I did love you, but like, so he's singing this song. It's just, but like, he was a really shit dad.
Yeah, but he was like, it's only really conditional, you know, like it's only conditional to like how much the girls.
It's nice to see that he had something under there, but like that doesn't make him like redeemed in a second.
Yeah, no, it absolutely does not. I think again, it's just like a reflection of like, well, he has nobody left, so I guess he only has like, you know, his family.
But it's nice to see that like he participated in like the good times. They were actually good times. It's like, okay.
I think that's why it's like justified he gets his ass beat like most of the movie, because you're just like, yeah, fuck that guy, like kick his ass. You're just like, yeah, go, you know, like, because you know deep down, like, yeah, this guy.
He also knows he's just like the big dumb muscle.
Yeah.
Very rare. He's everything.
Yeah. But he's entertaining. I mean, he was. Yeah, especially that fight with Taskmaster, like up in the Red Room. I thought that was pretty funny.
Yeah.
Like, everybody is shit rocked for no reason.
That was one thing. The difference between like Alexei's betrayal for the kids versus Melina's betrayal was like hers was more out of like cowardice and fear, and also she doesn't know anything different.
Mm-hmm.
She also didn't have a choice because she got shot. But then like Alexei was like he betrayed his kids for glory so he could like get back into the field and like be the Red Guardian again. And like I think that was like one of the more heartbreaking parts of the film, because I think overall it's like a film about generational trauma.
Yeah.
Just kind of like hits a little close to home.
Yeah.
When you're like, when you are having these like hard conversations like with your parents and stuff like that as an adult, and like everyone's like, oh, I guess we should talk about this.
Yeah. That's really reflected in like the dinner scene, you know?
Yeah, that was one of my favorite scenes of the movie too. Also, I mean, Florence steals the show the entire movie, especially too because like her input with the poser and like the period joke stuff. But like you can see her each break and like the knife in her stomach, basically in that scene of like, real, it's not really yelling, and it's just like finding out like, oh, it's your mom who's just basically working as if it's just like another office job, and she's just developing stuff, and it's like, oh cool, science, not realizing like her impacts had direct like cause and trauma to your own daughter that you apparently love. And you didn't even think of it. And then Yelena's face just breaks, and it's just like tears.
Yeah. Good.
Oh, I was just gonna say I actually had made a note of that when I was taking notes earlier. The difference in like Yelena and Natasha's fighting styles also comes out in their personalities, except for like with Yelena's fighting style, she is a lot more abrasive. She's a lot more like using her strength and her own weight and like momentum, like powering through things. Except when it comes to like talking about those like really hard emotional things, you can tell she's hearing everything and then changing the subject, or like being like, okay, just like taking in all the information so she can figure out what to do with it, like very like calculated, like she's been trained to do. And I think that's like that like just comes to a head at the dinner table.
Do you think that's like a reflection of like Natasha being like the older sister and then she being the younger sibling? Because like that relationship is like kind of apparent with me and my brother, where like I take a lot, like, you know, as an older brother or like an older sibling, you like take the grunt work. You kind of like want to push yourself through everything just because you feel like you gotta. Well, my brother's a little bit more like reserved. He's quiet. Now that we're older, we're more like the same in comparison. But like growing up, that was like a very like apparent thing in our household. Like I was very much just like spoken. I didn't think a lot. I would just do whatever because I thought it was the right thing to do. But yeah, I feel like that plays a lot into their relationship and like how they viewed that family together, you know, because like it's, you know, the famous line from TikTok, like, it was real to me, you know.
Yeah, she was 3 when they moved to Ohio, and so like 3, 4, 5, 6. That's the biggest formative years.
Yeah,
like you don't know anybody. You don't know that's not your real family and that's not your real home. And like her whole world's been shattered at least 3 times. Elena, she has like going back in like that whole Ohio sequence. You have her waking up as a widow and then have her being dusted and coming back. Like,
how is she still standing, man? I would have gave up after the second one.
Someone give Yelena a hug.
But I think like seeing too like how Yelena reacts is taking it in and like talks about it. I feel like that could be so relatable to a lot of families too. Like if you're an older, like seeing older siblings and younger siblings, if your family situation is rough but the older sibling has to get out just to grow and thrive and then eventually help like the younger ones, like it's a very common scenario. And I feel like that it's right in the feels for some people because it's like it's me. But seeing Yelena in that, they act such like sisters.
God, yeah.
It's like the way they're just fighting and calling each other names and like the gun move and like just like smashing plates on each other.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can tell that she's the younger sibling. Just like when she like grabbed the knife, she just went to the extreme. She's like, listen.
I think that was the fun parts of the movie where like you knew that like, they were just very intense people.
Yeah.
And it's like, like she grabbed for the knife and it's like they're just playing around. They're just joshing. They're cool. They're trained assassins.
It's like the sibling.
You understand sister fights.
Yeah. They're just having a good time. They're cool.
And it makes me so happy to see families too in the MCU, because we missed that for a while, and then we had Scott and nothing in this.
Yeah,
so good.
But I think because like there's always that like argument like, oh, the Avengers aren't like a found family. They're just coworkers, right? And it's like, there's not a lot of good family like stories in the MCU. Like they tried with Clint, but like I still don't think Clint's a good father. Because he's gone. I don't like Clint.
I mean, see, Hawkeye wasn't even about Clint's family. They were just there as a plot device for
exactly.
Get home for Christmas.
And they're like, oh, he has a family.
Oh, he has a family. He has some kind of motivation.
Another state sometimes.
Yeah.
They go on vacation.
But then also like, what other like we don't really have much of. Oh, we have like Tony's like daddy issues, I guess. But everything else is like we don't see all of the characters that play like at the same time like you do in this movie, where they, you know, they are like a family for the first part, but then you find out like they do actually care about each other, and I think that's something the MCU drastically misses a lot of. It's like, yeah, you guys care about each other, but like not in. I feel like not in a very like intimate way.
They care about each other in the way that like if they know if they let anybody else die, like their odds are down.
Yeah, their odds are down. It's like, dang, now we're just weaker.
You can even see in Civil War too. It's just like they just call up people they know who can fight, and we're like, get into this brawl with us.
Yeah.
And they're just like people who somehow like live together. Like they live together in the Avengers compound. They don't really like do anything else.
See, that's what I was thinking. It's like whoever got to who first just kind of decided who they were on, right? Like whoever got to Scott first was basically he was gonna say yes to anybody. Like if you really think about it. Like if Tony went to him first, he'd be like, yeah, absolutely, I'll fight with you. Yeah, he went to a 16-year-old.
Offering him like a scholarship, like come here, we'll just do a scholarship and whatever, you know?
Yeah, but no.
Describing him.
It's just like, okay, I guess the premise, they're both wrong. Okay, I've come to that conclusion. They're both wrong.
Exactly.
Oh, we're not talking about Civil War right now. Oh, we got a headache.
We should do a Civil. We should do a Civil War episode.
No,
at the same time. Sorry, even if it's the wrong side. There is a wrong side, but getting into the idea of like, should we have a Black Widow 2 movie? Should Yelena be called Black Widow? Is that just Natasha?
No, I okay. So my biggest gripe, and this is like a comic book thing, and this, but like, is that the passing of title doesn't ever stick. It always goes back, right? Like the most consistent title I can think of that like stays with like the transition is the Flash, right? Because Barry Allen was the Flash, and then what's his name? See, I even forgot because like they just reassociated that name with the Flash. Oh my god, dude, I'm so stupid. Yeah, that guy. So the other guy. The other guy. Wally West.
Wally West.
Yeah, Wally West. Like he was the main Flash for like the longest time, and then the CW show happened, and then it doesn't matter. So, like with the passing of the title, like if Yelena becomes the new Black Widow, I want it to stick, you know.
Yeah.
So if they're gonna commit, they better commit, because I don't want this like wishy-washy. It happened with Ghost Rider. It's like whenever I say Ghost Rider, people think I'm talking about Johnny Blaze. I want Robbie to be Ghost Rider. That is my lifelong goal. When I say that, people know what I'm talking about.
But Marissa in the chat makes a really good point, because like she's saying that Clint always calls people like is a Black Widow, but he calls her Black Widow, like as a name, but also like refers to other Black Widows as Black Widows.
So
yeah,
from my understanding,
or just
like
widows. I don't know.
From my understanding, like with MCU specifically, obviously don't know anything about comics. I'll be the first to admit that. They like call it like a Black Widow program. So like you're a widow.
So then that's how Nat keeps her.
When you're employed, like a Black Widow assassin is employed to you. But I don't personally, I don't think it's gonna go like, oh, Yelena, she is Black Widow, because Black Widow is so much bigger than Natasha now. It's like they're freeing a bunch of widows. So
super interesting. I hope Yelena just keeps Yelena.
Yeah,
because I don't understand why do they just pass? I understand Captain America, because that's like kind of a propaganda thing too.
Yeah.
Status symbol, show countries we have strength, sort of thing. But Laiba, what were you?
Well, I was gonna say, I feel like this is connecting to Natasha and Yelena. That what is the point if you leave the Black Widow program and you escape? Why would you still take that title? Wouldn't you want to like disassociate yourself from that title? Like, do you know what I mean?
I feel like whenever this happens, like it's always like a reclaiming of identity. You know, it's like they can't escape their past. Like they should, in essence, accept that like we were part of the Black Widow like program. And now that Dracoff is gone, it's like, well, we can redefine what Black Widow means to like themselves and like the rest of the world. I think that might be it. I don't think they really touched on it on the movie, but I always feel like whenever there's like that kind of scenario happens, That's usually like the goal, you know, like it's
like
like
to reclaim it. Yeah.
like
I
to
have
reclaim that
I have a
identity.
strong feeling that she probably got the nickname from being like, oh, she's the Black Widow agent.
Yeah.
Who
Like,
joined
did
Shield.
they ever like call her Black Widow?
I
only was called
I
a
don't
widow.
know.
Like
because they only have one Black Widow in Shield, so it makes sense that she was the Black Widow. But
Do you think it was like it was just like okay, because the Black Widow, you know, the group, like the group of women, they were so covert. Do you think like they only thought there was only ever one? You know, like kind of like how the Winter Soldier operated.
but
Like
they
there
knew
was
about
only
like she
one
blew up. She was supposedly blew up the Red Room, so they knew there must have been more.
I wonder how much she like told Nick Fury, you know,
Yeah.
like about her, like actually her past, or like how much Nick Fury actually knew, and how much did they even let that be known to the rest of Shield?
Fury called her Widow.
Okay.
I think once, but then I think from then on he calls her Nat.
Yeah.
Like I know everyone else calls her Nat. I don't like remember them saying, "Hey, Black Widow." Like,
And if there's like, I'm thinking of like one specific instance. It's when it's in Age of Ultron when they're all like kind of hanging out after the party or whatever, and they're like trying to pick up Thor's hammer, and they're like, "Widow, you want a shot at it?" That's like the only time I can remember them calling her that, aside from Natasha or Nat.
I feel like it's kind of insulting. It's like
like not referring her to by
my
name.
friends were just being like, I don't call me by my trauma, please.
Yeah, exactly. Like that's what I mean by like why would either of them keep that title?
Yeah,
like I know that they're like,
especially talking about it now. I really don't want Yelena to keep anything having to do. I mean, like she keeps her jumpsuits. The jumpsuits are good.
They're sick. They're good.
Do you think? Well, there is a Red Guard. That's like the name of like the current Is it Red Guard? I forget what it's called, but like something Guard. That's the name of the ongoing title now. That does include Yelena as the main character. But also you can just like go in a totally different direction. Instead of like the sequel would be called not Black Widow. You can call them Black Widows, and that would be like a storyline about the group as opposed to just Yelena.
Yeah,
I think that would be kind of cool to see, because I want to see like where the rest of them went. We saw a couple of them in like Shang-Chi in the fight ring. They've popped. Have they popped up since then?
No,
like, there wasn't much, because Shang-Chi was the next movie after Black Widow, and then Eternals was his own thing, and then Spider-Man was.
But like they are out there. They're still operating.
Like to me, it wouldn't make sense to make a Black Widow movie and have Yelena in it. As much as I love her, but I feel like if you're gonna make a Black Widow movie, make it about the Red Room.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because they didn't show any of it at all.
Yeah.
And it doesn't really like make sense. But if they make a Black Widow movie and they show, like, even though it'll be very sad and disheartening to see that, but it's something that actually happened to Nat and something that happened to Yelena, might as well show it, and then just for them to understand, you know,
like have
the bad
it
things associated with that name.
Yeah, like have like the Widow movie, and it like has those flashbacks to it of what trauma they're overcoming.
Yeah.
What they're doing after, which could be super cool, because we got some really gorgeous looking ladies, and like I assume they're all talented actresses too, because like Marvel they can do that.
Marvel does it.
I would love to see that, because like especially
like
seeing on Antonia with them too.
Yeah.
That would be that would make a lot more. That would be really, really great to see.
Yeah.
Naira says she wants to see a connection to the Winter Soldier.
Me too. I did too. Listen, they had the opportunity to show Winter Widow, but they didn't.
Can you imagine that? Just like the passing by of just that entire plot line.
So cool.
Like it never happened.
So cool.
I don't think they even spoke to each other. Like I don't think they share a line of dialogue at all.
They never.
He chokes her out, and she's like, "Can you at least remember me?"
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, didn't she shoot through her?
Yeah, because she was supposed to like protect this like politician, but then he like shot through her. And that was through her.
Dang.
But then
fucking that. Oh, and then
that would have been so romantic.
Let's get some Alpine in there too.
As
Mr.
much
and
as
Mrs. Smith kind of vibe.
if Nat was still alive, I would have loved to have a Winter Widow.
Yeah.
I know I don't
That
want
would
a
have
Winter
made
Widow
more
with
sense
Yelena
than
and
like
Buck.
any of the other pairings.
All the 5 other
that was
relationships that
with.
were attempted with Black Widow, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Like it would have been way...
Like how did it slip their mind? It's right freaking there. It's like literally right there, and they
She could have
didn't
had this
look
on
at it
again,
at
off
all.
again romance with another spy, Russian spy. Like
It's Joss Whedon. That's everything that was wrong.
Joss Whedon's self-insert.
Yeah. God. That guy ruins everything.
Avengers 1, like, oh, Nat's talking to Loki. You know what's a great time? Show Nat's butt.
Show Nat's butt.
Oh, she's looking for Hulk because he got angry and doesn't want him to break the plane. Yeah. Oh, Nat's butt.
Nat's butt. Also Lullaby.
That's over.
Because only a feminine figure can calm the Hulk for some reason.
Sun's getting real low.
The sun's getting real low.
Wiccan says my biggest fear now is that they'll do Yelena and Buck. That is my biggest fear as well.
Honestly,
I really hope they don't do that.
I hope.
I want to keep her as her ace queen.
I got a hot take theory. I think Bucky's gonna like at some point.
People thought that in the Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
No, but I think in the next one, like to kind of, I know it's not
like the next like Avengers level movie.
I don't know if it's Avengers level, but I think if it doesn't happen like in the new Captain America, it's I already know. Versus yelling at me. I already know. But like if something doesn't happen to him within the next movie.
I don't want him. Okay, sidetrack. I don't want him in the next Captain America movie. I don't want him dead yet, but right. I don't think he should be there.
My boy.
My boy. Oh my god, just thinking of him dying just like makes me want to cry.
I want him to retire on that boat.
Yeah, let him retire. Maybe let him date Sarah.
Time travel.
Get Alpine.
No, see, I'm gonna write the next movie right now. They're gonna have some kind of scuffle. Bucky's gonna take something for Sam, and then he's like, "You can't go," and he's like, "I'm with you till the end of the line," and then he's dead, and then he's gone, and then it's
at the end of the line.
Yes, that was the end of the line.
Y'all know that's a lie.
that would show narratively that he saw Sam as his best friend because he said that. See, I should be in the writer's room. Get me in, Marvel.
Honestly. Yeah.
Marvel, call me. You already got me in your design room. Get me in your writer's room.
Oh my god. Oh. So look how distressed you made Laiba. I know.
Oh man.
But getting into like just any other visceral reactions that you had or moments when you're watching the movie, because I know I had some key moments that I just could not let go of. I mean, I love this movie. Mm-hmm. I do. It's really rewatchable, but some things just take me out.
Like what?
The fight sequences I think were like really good. They're done really well. This movie slips on. No one talks about cinematography in this movie. The cinematography in this movie is beautiful. No one's ever talking about it. It's beautiful, especially like when she's like in the hideout and she has like those landscapes. You kind of lose it a little bit at the end because like everything's kind of like CGI in the sky. But
and she's gonna live.
Yeah, and she's gonna live. But towards the the beginning part and the middle where you get a lot of cinematography and the action's really great. But like in terms of like reaction, I think I really was like thrown off by the whole Taskmaster thing. I think like it was a good surprise, It was such a good twist. Cause like again, like when you're watching it and you're not a misogynistic asshole, like it just clicks and you're just like, yeah, this is good. I love this. This is it made all the sense in the world.
Yeah.
Narratively wise, it provided a very complex conclusion because it's like it doesn't fix anything that she did, but
she's free.
But she's free, and like it's like you never want to compare like trauma, but it's like okay, in comparison to the fucking Dracoff, he's a fucking asshole. It's like you did what you could, Nat, and that's the best you could do, and that's the part we appreciate about Nat, you know, that she
That's
was
her heart.
it's her heart that made, you know, doesn't forgive her, but like she always keeps trying, and that's even after, you know, like after that whole thing, even she knows that like, oh,
even during the snap, like the
yeah,
entire
she's still
time.
living with it, and she knows that guilt exists, and gives like context to her sacrifice in Endgame and like how she feels, like even though she has kind of concluded that part of her life, she still lives with it, and I think that's important. I love that about her character.
So I'm gonna sound real dumb real quick, touching on Antonia again, because I know she's Taskmaster. I know she can mimic things, and they even say like, "Oh, she fights like your friends." It took me until this last rewatch to be like, "Oh, identifying the different moves that they did," because I only picked up on like the poser move before, and I'm just like, "Oh no!" Like you got the throwing the shield,
Yeah.
you got the bow and arrow, you got a Spider-Man swing, the
Mhm.
like the T'Challa
Right,
claws,
right.
and a Bucky knife spin. I'm like,
oh, I noticed all the Bucky knife spins. I was like,
Oh yeah.
I was like, oh,
good job.
Very aware.
But any other moments?
Oddly enough, though,
Guys
like
wanna
when you
call
think
out?
about it, he never copied Nat. Yeah,
She did.
Did she?
Right at the beginning.
Just
don't
like
think so.
right
Oh,
the
she did,
total
right,
poser
right,
move.
yeah.
That was
Yeah.
it. But like,
It's like they're all the icon. But like, but doesn't Taskmaster have to like fight the person? Does that mean
she
like
was
she had
watching the
fought?
videos.
Oh, right,
Yeah.
right. Okay,
There's like
okay,
the
okay.
uploading the
Yes,
videos.
yes.
Yeah, that was like her
That
whole
thing.
thing is she can mimic any fight sequence or any fighting style if she sees
Mhm.
it.
There you
But
go.
okay, so maybe I'll just get into the thing that I had visceral reaction to, and I just want to give a little rant on this.
Sure.
Period.
The hair. First of all, I love the braids.
Love the
So
braids.
practical to have your hair braided up, braided back while you're fighting. I love that. Number one, the box hair dye.
Oh,
She
yeah.
did not get that blonde.
You're not getting
She
that
did
blonde.
not
She's
get- she did
not
get
getting that blonde with one box of hair dye.
Yeah.
Also with the big chop on there too. Oh my god! Like it was a perfect crisp line. She
Just
went to us all out,
fly.
and she had a shadow root going on too. The box set, so unrealistic. Like, come on, at least give her like bleach and toner and stuff, like multiple boxes or something.
Yeah.
But
I
the
want to
main
see
thing
a
is
trip to Sally Beauty.
the wigs.
Oh,
The Sally Beauty, the wigs. Oh my!
Were they bad?
the
So-
wigs.
I don't know anything about wigs. Okay, like I was going to
Bef-
movies, it's just like whatever.
Before going into the scene, they're at the dinner table. Melinda has a really intricate braided updo, kind of like super level of Florence's hair, like
Right.
most of the movie. Seems great to put under a wig. Cool. Nat has like I think her hair is just like down with a couple braids.
Mhm.
Also cool. And then they do the switcheroo with the wigs, and Nat is wearing Melinda's hair, which is like now a big giant ponytail, and the ponytail is like a foot away from her head. It's huge, it's voluminous. It's like, you know what? It's a wig.
Right.
I understand. Cool. Maybe that's the wig that she had there. And then, you know, Melinda's wearing Nat's hair, and it's like the braids and stuff, and it's like, okay, that's what Nat's hair is. I guess that's the style of the wig she had. They take off the wigs. Like, she takes off the ponytail wig. Her hair is already down.
I know.
In the back. And it's just like all in these braids. So I'm like, number one, that's not how hair falls out of a wig.
Like, where's
And
the
why would
cap?
you have those
There's no
braids?
wig
Like, if
cap.
Hannah
anything,
Montana. Don't worry about it.
You're just like,
That's to both worlds.
but the biggest kicker is Melinda taking off the Nat wig, and she has that giant ponytail up here. It's like they didn't have to have the same hairstyles under the wig as the other. Nobody was checking that.
You know what's crazy is like they have holographic mask technology, and they could have just applied it to like the whole head. They're like, no, let's just give them a wig.
It's like in
That'll
Melinda's like
make them-
gun room, she has wigs, so like you know they're regular wigs, but like Melinda didn't have to wear the ponytail under Nat's wig. She had a perfect hairstyle to wear under a wig before.
Right, yeah.
I'm like, Nat, she could have had the braids in there, but at least have them flop out properly. I'm like, nobody's checking the homework.
The Red Room doubled as a cosmetology school.
Cosmetology school.
Honestly, they must have.
No.
Thank you, Linda, for that.
And also all the other widows had beautiful braids. I'm like, they must have
Oh, yeah.
taught each other how to braid, and they braided each other's hair.
Right, yeah.
That's my headcanon, and I'm sticking to it. But
Oh, yeah.
There's one thing that stressed me out through the entire movie. I don't know if anyone can. I can't relate, but it just like watching it just really stressed me out because I don't have my ears pierced, but the amount of earrings that they have, it looks amazing. It looks cool.
they look so cool.
But are they trying to tell me that no one is gonna just rip those earrings out while they're fighting?
I don't know. Hey, I don't
I
know.
was
man.
like,
I mean, they are little hoops, but there are some dangly ones, and it's just like
yeah.
none of that's gonna get caught on somebody's glove. or
Yeah, like
anything.
the studs are fine. It's just like the cuffs and like the hoops. I was like,
Yeah.
something's gonna come out. Like
I can suspend my belief for a giant floating base. I can't suspend my belief about this jewelry and these wigs, though. This
You
is not gonna...
you have not been into a tussle with hoops on. Let me just say that. It's
I've
not
watched.
fun.
I've watched. How many seasons of Drag Race are there? I
lot.
think I've watched all
Lot.
of them, and all I see is like. I remember there was one like season where someone had lost a wig, and there was like a bunch of drama about that. I know wigs are like a huge thing, so but that's where my extent of knowledge about wigs goes. Just watching about 10
I
seasons.
love that you
of,
go from
Just
MCU to
know when you
RuPaul.
have a giant ponytail the size of
It's the
another
pipeline.
head behind your head, it probably won't fit under
Yeah,
a wig.
that's true.
Right?
Unless it's like it's got secrets. And that's
Right.
like dread wigs can get like that, and those are fabulous, but that's not what they were going for.
And again, they had like cloaking, masking technology. They could have just extended it to the head. Nope, they're
Yeah.
like, yeah, just throw a wig on them. No one will notice.
Just say that's part of like the magic cloak thing.
Yeah,
I don't
exactly.
take care. I don't know, but like really?
Could have been a holographic wig cap. That would have been sick.
yeah.
Yeah.
Lit, man.
Like it would have been so easy to just have your hair braided, pop a wig cap on, boom, it's in there, and then put the wig on. That's it.
Come on, Marvel, get us in
Come
in
on,
there, bro.
Marvel. We need real
writing
people
gold
in
for
there
you.
too. It's like I mean, the only other time where I saw like a woman's hair making sense while fighting in the MCU. I mean, okay, number one, Yelena always does her hair, and she's fabulous. She knows what she's doing.
Oh, the braid
But
hawk.
like
I love that. That's so cool.
Sylvie like actually tying her hair up before a fight. I'm like, fair.
Makes
But like,
sense.
what Nat? Like, okay, Nat had the braids there, but like the ponytail. How is that practical?
Yeah.
too? Like it was massive. Like the braids against your head was perfect. Anyways, all this rant to say is like I missed the whole thing that like Fanny, her dog, Yelena's dog was named after Fanny Longbottom.
Oh, yeah,
which
I
is,
saw that
like,
video
the
that you
secret
made.
identity. I was just like, people were like, how'd you miss that? I was like, I was fixating on the hair dye.
Yeah. So shook about a box hair dye.
But oh my god.
Hey, it's no joke.
No, I bet. I've dyed my hair once, and it was a mess. It was like green, blue.
I'll dye it
red.
for you.
Yeah. I'm doing like an undercut right now. Maybe I can just dye the top part. That's what I did last time.
That's what I did for my brother.
Yeah, it's fun. It's fun. You usually go through a midlife crisis, but it's fun. You know.
But,
That's why my hair is
So-
black.
yeah, I need to re-dye my hair, but I'm waiting to do it right before turning red. So
Are you gonna do?
I
I
am
was like,
the
are you
right
gonna do
color.
it purple? Because you've been making all those graphics, and I was
I'll
like, are you gonna-
I'm gonna have to wait until after turning red comes out.
Yeah.
So
Oh my god, the red's gonna be so cool.
April, let's say purple haired April.
Mm,
Um,
fun.
But yeah, getting off the topic of hair. I don't know about you, but like how did this movie change your viewing of the Endgame and other Marvel movies, and even watching Hawkeye did something to me while watching this as well. Because there's a lot to be said there.
What do you think, Hannah?
That's
You
like
go
a
first.
super loaded question.
Yeah,
Like,
it's a
All
lot.
on you, Hannah.
all on you, Hannah.
Get those notes out.
Get those notes
I have a
out.
lot of
You
them.
got notes.
Get notes.
I do. I love you pull up my notes.
It's the Blue's Clues notepad.
It's a Blue's Clues notepad.
And what about it?
It's the Winter Soldier notebook.
Oh my gosh, I need to get that.
Oh my god, I'm so bad.
Oh man.
I personally, I don't think it changed much as far as like Endgame went, but that's like my personal opinion. I think it really like it gave perspective of like both like Nat and Clint. If Clint was aware that Nat had Yelena and Melina and Alexei and all that, so she essentially had like a family outside of the Avengers, and so did he. So they were like very equal going to Vormir, like especially after he was Ronin and was just like, you know, being an assassin and essentially doing exactly what Natasha was doing, except she had no choice when she was doing it, and then he did. But that is a rant for another time.
No, keep going. I hate that guy. No, I'm joking. I feel you though.
I just will never understand why, like in Endgame, they have him chasing the Yakuza, and I'm like,
make it make sense, Marvel.
Make it make sense, Marvel.
Make it make sense.
Make it make sense.
Keep it in America. We have a lot of
like, why are we going overseas to kill people? What?
There's enough.
That's just my thoughts on that. But also, like, I liked that it gave more context. I love context and I love backstory to like especially characters that we've gotten to know for like the last 10 years. And so like seeing that she was more than an Avenger, like she was more than like a widow reclaimed, like she was more than that. And it's like you see so much of her vulnerability in Black Widow, and I feel like they were very intentional with that in Endgame. So I thought that there was less of like a jump with her acting, if that makes sense. Like with how open she is with people. She's still very closed off in Infinity War, but by the time you get to Endgame, she's a hot mess, crying over a peanut butter sandwich. So anyways, and different. Sorry.
No, it's cool. I completely agree. Like adding a little bit, because again, like her being introduced, like didn't have a lot. So the more you give her, like the more of a in-depth character she becomes, and I feel like she's owed that, you know, because it's like she's been there like for so long, and it's like we don't know anything about her other than like she's escaping from this idea. We don't even know what it is.
Yeah, she's just like a spy, and apparently she knows Clint, and apparently she does this, and apparently she does that. It's just like, it's really nice to see, and it's like, at least when the writers were writing it, they made sure to include all like those throwaway comments and stuff, and they basically turned it into a really good story of this. But like I'm very glad they kept it consistent in that way instead of being like, this feels entirely away from what Nat would do. No, this feels right on brand, and as you mentioned too, and like I definitely need to give Endgame another rewatch now, because I'm just like seeing that like that in the beginning. I never even just watched the first 20 minutes. It's like, it's heartbreaking. It's like everyone she knows except for like Steve. He's gone.
Sad. I'm still under the headcanon that like she just didn't know if like she was gone or not. You know, I feel like
she would have had a look. She had the time to look.
I think she found out after, like with that other widow who probably just like went to her and be like, dude, she freaking disappeared.
She's
like
gone, dude.
she's gone, dude. I don't know where she went.
I was asking about you and then gone.
And poof, disappeared.
Because I have my headcanon is that Nat spent at least a year looking for everyone in her family. Okay, probably a couple. Because when we see her, she was broken. She's so broken. But like not only like Endgame too, like it's kind of fun to see like, okay, whatever. But like watching Hawkeye 2 after watching Black Widow 2, knowing like, okay, Clint and Nat were technically actually friends and knows about Yelena, but like see that Yelena snap. Really, that in Hawkeye, like that broke me a lot more probably than this movie of seeing. Not like that, because the girl.
There's a lot of emotions in this movie. Like, it's especially with like just the family dynamic, and then like just it's such a difficult movie to like really pin, because like it's a movie that should have came out between, See, I don't even know when it should have came out. It's just
After
like
Civil War.
After
Yeah.
Civil War.
I think
Yeah.
after Black
Infinity War, I think, is because that's what the timing is in the MCU.
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, I think if they were gonna make, like, let's say this Black Widow movie didn't exist and we're back in 2012 or in 2013, I feel like they should have made, like I said, a movie just based on the Red Room or what happened in Budapest and what they did, and because like it was so annoying watching the Avengers movies. They're like, oh, this is way different than Budapest.
Yeah.
Remember when we did the remember when you murdered a child in Budapest? Is that what you're joking about? Like,
Right?
Bigger topic.
You guys are weird.
I feel like it had to be right after Avengers 1, right? Like
Wait,
Yeah.
Budapest?
that would have been a really good time for a
Oh, I
movie
see.
for
Yeah.
Yes.
You have to think about the climate of the cinematic world though. Like, would that have
that's
been?
true.
Would that have been?
but
the
she's a
same?
super spy. So like
Yeah, but like, imagine
this
Joss
gender
Whedon
norm's
being
really
in
like
there.
it's like the whole thing is like
Joss Whedon still had his like firm grip on the MCU at that point.
No,
if he
take it back.
It would have been
I'd
like,
like to pretend if we got a movie back then, in my head canon, it's a different timeline.
it's a
and it
different
wasn't
timeline.
him.
it's the
Yeah,
it's the better one.
I think it, like, realistically, I do think it came out at the right time because, like, let's be honest, back then,
Yeah, social climate wise, yeah.
yeah,
They couldn't have
it's
made
not
this
like how it is now.
respectfully.
No, it's not like how it is now. It would have been.
Completely.
I think I watched
Especially
a
the
YouTube
changing
video
of the
about it.
posters too, of like not in every other movie, and then this is like you see her in Endgame and this movie's posters, and those are the ones where like Scarlett was like, I've had enough, like stop fucking with my body.
Joseph brings up a good point, but should they have kept the graveyard post-credit scene if they put it after Civil War? Obviously, it would have been written a little bit differently. Like,
yeah, it wouldn't have that.
Like, what if they had the graveyard scene in Endgame?
right, yeah, or that would have been.
And
That
that's
would
a
have
hint.
been a good teaser for you.
And that's a hint. Yeah, a hint to Yelena.
and that would have been actually
And a
would have been
Thunderbolt.
really great.
Mhm.
But unfortunately, we don't work at Marvel.
We don't get that.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah, but
Marvel.
unfortunately-
If you want to hire any of us,
We're here, man.
Feige.
We're here,
This on the writing.
Kevin.
Kevin. Come on, man.
Kevin. Come on,
I
Kevin.
won't punch you in the face. I promise.
Yeah, come on. Johnny questionable, but come on.
We'll
Kevin.
we'll have a
We'll
long
hold him
chat
back.
in a Hell Charger, in a 1969 Charger. We're gonna just have a good old chat, get some tacos. I won't light you on fire. I promise.
that was Robbie.
Robbie Reyes.
He's not into arson. He's into Robbie.
Into Robbie, please. This is how I show my
Robbie.
love and appreciation.
You're a vengeance.
Your vengeance. Let's
Your
go.
It's a
vengeance.
positive thing. But another point is, I know after this movie and seeing the potential that we got to see from Nat, should we bring her back?
No.
I have thoughts, but no.
Well, okay.
Yeah.
Like, when you say Nat, like, do you mean Scarlett Johansson?
Yeah, people want her to come back. Yeah.
Okay. I think it would be interesting if like Natasha came back. I don't think I want Scarlett Johansson to come back though. It's a very conflicting feeling if that like makes sense.
It makes me sad to say no, but it's the only way that it would make sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To just have her not come back at all. Like, her story's done. Like, most of the original 6 stories, it's done.
done.
Over. Let it go. Let it go.
Let it go.
Same.
Yeah, I'm not really sure what more they could do. Like, if they brought like Scarlett Johansson back to reprise the role of Natasha Romanoff, like I'm not quite sure what they could do, just because of the way they set her character up, again, very poorly until it gets to the later films. And
Until after she's dead.
Yeah.
Still, yeah, but you know, love it. I agree. I don't know what else they could like do with her character other than like if they brought a variant in and like helped train Yelena, but that's like really reaching.
See, that's the
Yeah.
question.
But why
now.
would she need the training from from Natasha? Because like Yelena's super sufficient too.
Yeah.
I'm,
What can she do that Yelena can't accomplish right now? You know, like
Yeah.
maneuvering.
She can hold whatever role that needs to be fulfilled in the MCU. Like Yelena can definitely carry that. And I think it's like whenever I think about the characters in the MCU, it's like, okay, what purpose do they serve? Like what is their role in the grander scheme of things, right? And it's like, well, if she was introduced in the like while if she's introduced in order to like essentially replace her, like bringing her back would just like kind of make all of that empty. Her sacrifice would be empty. Even if you brought back a variant, it's like visually, how are you going to distinguish that? It's very like.
Because I feel like it's different with like the Pietro thing. Like even though everyone hated the Ralph Boner thing, but like he was there one movie. He didn't really have a thing. Like his story is largely kind of unfinished, but like it's the same thing. Like if they bring Nat back, people are asking also for Tony back, and it's just like
no, Tony stays dead.
It doesn't make
Tony stays dead, but like
Tony
it doesn't make sense.
dead.
Like their story, what more can they do other than it being like a alternate reality dream sequence? Or I was reading the Infinity Warps one, and they're going to the Soul Stone, and then you see like Gamora and Nat hanging out inside the Soul Stone. Like, but like the Infinity Stones are basically done now too. So there's no more story.
The only time it would make sense to bring a character like Natasha back is like what they did with Gamora, which was time travel. But
but we've also done that now.
We already did that. So like her story's done. As much as it like makes me sad, I would love to see Yelena and Nat get together again. It's not gonna happen.
But isn't that the beauty of it? Like not having it, you know? It's just like
imagine
just the potential of like
Picture
what
it
could be, you know? Because sometimes the romanticized idea is better than the reality, you know? You could forever live in your dreams.
I know Naira in the chat too has also brought up What If, and we did see some really great Black Widow action in What If. Honestly, her episodes were some of the best.
Really good episodes.
I don't like how they kind of bringing the What If into live rumored just to be into live action, and that would be weird. But like, I like seeing her there.
Hannah, what are your thoughts on What If? Like, did you watch it?
I did watch it, and I know a lot of people didn't like it, but I really liked it.
I think like what it. Like it's so conflicting because I do like it. Like I do like it. It's just like the execution of it all was just like I forget like
messy.
It was just messy and like
I feel the same way.
We're all like very hypercritical. Like we're all just hypercritical. Like I every time I watch a new movie, I've noticed this about myself. Like every time I watch a new movie or like a TV show, like I like watching them. I like watching them. I like experiencing them. And then I get away from it, and then it's just like I start thinking about it too much, and I'm just like. No, that's not working for me. That's how I know when I really love movies. When I like get away from them, I'll be like, this is good.
No, I feel that way about this movie. It's like I thought, I was like, you know, it's good, it's not crazy, and I rewatch it, and I'm like, this is really rewatchable. This is really good. But for What If, it was weird. Not getting too much into it. It's just like I like the episodes, but when they try to make it into this like Super Avengers fight team sequence thing at the end, I'm like,
Yeah.
I like the concept of it being What If.
We got 4.
And like seeing those like versions of Natasha, and I'm so happy, at least with this movie. Like we finally got some justice, some depth, some like a really great movie for this character that was severely underutilized and treated like an object. And like seeing her treated respectfully too in What If, I'm like, gives me some hope.
Yeah. Hashtag fuck Joss Whedon.
With What If, I kind of wish that they would have kept it as like single stories.
Yes.
I
kind of like Star Wars,
like Visions. Star Wars Visions.
Like Star Wars Visions. We've been saying that since day 0.
Like the twins episode.
The twins episode. I love the twins episode. It's the best episode.
Yeah. If you haven't seen Star Wars Visions yet, if you like the idea of What If, but like not the fact that they didn't keep it to the single episodes, you would like Visions.
Visions is so good. Yeah. God, man.
The What If scenarios were mostly boring. Like tons of fans have, but we do. We came up with so many What Ifs here.
Yeah.
Come on, Marvel.
They didn't go buck wild enough. Not
it
even.
it just made it confusing. Like,
Yeah.
Because they
I
try
know
to
we're
keep
not
it
talking about
too
what if, but, like,
close to the storylines, which was
Yeah.
weird.
like they wanted to make it make sense, but then they did it in a way where it doesn't make sense anymore.
It makes less sense.
It makes less sense than it did before.
We gotta revisit that idea, like a writer's room idea. We just what would we pitch to Kevin?
Can we have a
Feige?
pitch show?
Yeah.
Let's do it like
Oh,
a
man,
group
that sounds
show where
great.
everyone has like 5 minutes to do a pitch of
Oh my
their
god!
one episode.
Oh my god!
Mine is just gonna be like Matt Murdock, Bucky Barnes, and just
That's-
like just enduring just together. That's it. That's
What is
what
it?
if they were a team?
What is it? There was a video I saw
What if they were roommates?
on TikTok.
Make
It
fic
was,
AU.
this video I saw on
It's like-
TikTok. Uzma Land. She's like, "Oh, if you were like in an elevator, like who would you be
Uzma.
with?" And he's like, she said Kevin Feige, and like, what would you pitch them? And I was like, we should do that. Like, if we saw Kevin Feige in an elevator, like, what would we tell him? I'll just light the
Right, like-
elevator on fire. I think that's my message.
Look at his Laiba, time for a coffee shop, AU.
Oh no!
Yes.
Write it,
Yes.
Laiba, then you get it published, and then you'll be an award-winning author.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yes.
no, Nick, you can draw it into a comic.
No, there you go. Boom.
Try-
See,
we'll
make
collab.
millions.
We'll do this.
We'll call it the
Oh,
Stories of
man.
Atlas. It'll be under the.
Stories of Atlas.
That
Oh,
should have
man.
been done.
I love that so much. But speaking of other stories that could be told, where do we want to see these other characters? I mean, we've seen Yelena so far, but like we know Melinda's out there, we know Alexi's out there, and we saw a few of the widows in Shang-Chi, but
Where would we want to see them?
possibilities are endless.
Well,
I'm rooting for Silk to come into the MCU.
yeah.
Oh, me too. Me too.
Cindy
Same.
Moon.
Yo, Cindy, because she's been set up too.
Has,
She's a named character in the Spider-Man movies.
I know it's like way outside of everything we're talking about, but I'm just
Exactly.
excited about whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we got a question like that in the chat. I just got to
Like what
scroll
projects
up a
Oh,
are
little
the
bit.
you
A-
anticipated?
Is with the Asian representation too.
Yeah.
going forward.
Yeah, we can talk about that.
Yeah.
I
But
would
I don't know.
no, talking on Silk. I feel like her and like some widows and Silk in the same.
That would be
movie
cool,
could be
actually.
fun.
Like having, because like Silk wouldn't have like a mentor figure. I don't think she's ever had one too much of. So it'd be kind of cool to have like the widow be like that support system for her.
Yeah, because like in the comic, she was like pretty disoriented when she.
Yeah, because she's also held in captivity, which could like allude to like relating to being like in this cultish spy,
and they like
you know.
fight her, but also like kind of bring her back. So it's like
Yeah.
they were set free, but like they help set her free too.
Mm-hmm.
Girls, I love that.
Black
Well,
Widows in the new 10 Rings. Yes. I
Yes.
would love
I
Black
didn't see
Widows
that.
in the new 10 Rings.
I kind of want to see
That-
that though, like not like within each other, but like like not like a
I just want to know
like
what
a
they're doing.
conflict. Yeah,
More
What they're
about
doing.
can we have like a
Too.
office style show where it's just the Black Widows?
And they're just like,
looking at
they're like, one of them pulls out like a knife. And they're like,
It's like that Kazi scene where it's just like, no, I got this knife and this. You looking for this? You looking for this?
this
Wait,
one,
no.
this one.
Did you see that behind the scenes clip of Kazi and not behind the scenes clip, but it's like a deleted scene of like
Deleted
Kazi
scene and Echo.
and Echo,
Maya.
and they were like
Yeah.
childhood friends, and that made their story like a million times better.
Why did they cut that out?
I don't know. That makes
Marvel.
Kazi much more
Marvel.
significant.
Marvel.
Marvel, you are messing up, bro. Come on,
Just in the
man.
writing room.
Get us in the
Yes.
writing room.
Come on.
They need they need like sensitivity readers, but like and like you have test audiences for
Right.
these movies, but like you need to bring a group of us really high strung nerds just once and just like we'll get
Yeah.
fantastic ideas.
Yeah.
You know how they invite creators to red carpets? Invite us to the
Bro.
writing room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to pitch something.
Laiba is
Come
a
on.
professional.
I'm a professional.
But actually invite us to the red carpet anyway. You know,
And
we'll
the red carpet.
we'll say yes to anything.
Yes. Yeah, even just a PR box.
Yeah.
Lemon.
Yes.
Come on.
Yeah.
We're here for you.
A repost on Instagram of our show.
Whatever,
Yeah.
man.
It's free.
It's free,
It's
guys.
Yeah.
We'll pay you. We won't actually pay you. We're broke.
I'm already paying them.
Yeah.
We
already
pay for
paying.
Disney Plus.
Yeah.
We're
You already have
paying
our money.
Yeah,
We've funded the movie so far by going and seeing them.
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Just do us a solid, man. It's red carpet. That's it. All right. All of us, and the guests that have been on the show.
I think this last question connects to one of the other questions that was in the chat that I feel like we should talk about. And it's, what are y'all's thoughts on future Asian representation in Marvel movies? We have new characters like Kamala Khan, Silk in the future, hopefully. Oh my god, I just went away. Xia Ling. So we are the voices of Atlas.
Yes.
I feel like we should touch up on this because it connects to our last question in our outline.
Yeah.
It says, what would you like to see from future supporting characters in the MCU?
Like having an Agents of Atlas could be fun.
Yeah.
But
That's
like,
what the
it
name
also
of the
feels kind
podcast.
of cry. Corny, but like it's the best kind of corny.
I'll take it.
Yeah. I'll take it. Give
I'll
it to
take
me.
it.
Add Robbie in there.
Bro,
We're good.
No, you can't add Robbie in there.
Get Cersei in there too.
You get Cersei in that too.
Yeah.
And Kingo. Throw him in.
Yeah.
Cersei, Kingo. Oh my god, I'm very excited to see what they have planned for Cersei, even though she is
Captain.
currently celestial napped.
She's stolen.
She's stolen. I took her from Dane.
Scooped her up from her
Yeah.
yeeted her across the universe.
I know Hannah, you said Silk, right? Like we just talked about her a little
Silk.
bit. I have this like crazy headcanon that she's like the main character in the new Spider-Verse movie. I feel like it would be really cool to just see her in that setting.
She's coming. She's
Yeah.
definitely coming somewhere.
She's somewhere, man. I could feel it.
I would
like
cry.
They have her on all of like the like Spider-Man packaging everywhere. Like
Yeah.
it's just her comic book look, but like why are they putting her on there
yeah,
everywhere?
come on, guys.
I get like she's like well, I mean there's Spider-Woman too, and there's other spider ladies
Right.
Penny
in the
Parker.
comics, but they
Oh, yeah,
put
Penny.
a lot of emphasis in marketing on Silk, and she has to be coming.
Yeah.
She's got to be coming. I feel like Marvel,
Gilgamesh
y'all
come
are
up.
being very sneaky. I am so excited to see.
You say
Miss Marvel.
Gilgamesh
I'm very-
return?
You know, somebody said,
Please.
somebody said Gilgamesh.
Bring
in
back
the
Gilgamesh.
chat. I want.
Bring back Gilgamesh.
Bring
Bring
back
him back.
Gilgamesh, man.
See, again, he's like one where his story's not finished.
Yeah.
Not done.
We can bring him back. He's also
I
like,
need to know that I'm not the only one that sobs watching Eternals.
Every time. Every single time.
We're
I
Eternals
like
lovers here.
lose control. I like am sobbing from the time he dies to the time Thena's spreading his ashes in that lake. I'm just it's bad.
Mm.
When he's like, I would do it again, I cry every single time. I start crying like a child. It's like-
I cried more in Eternals than actually. I surprisingly didn't cry in Spider-Man, and I cry a lot, but like I cried a lot in Eternals. It was
Yeah.
a lot.
Gilgamesh is GOAT. You are
Mhm.
correct.
I'm super excited to see Kamala Khan because
Yeah.
I talked about I messaged Rid about this. If anybody knows Marvel with Rid,
She hit 10K.
she hit 10K. I'm
Shout out to
so
Rid.
happy she hit 10K. But we were talking about when I think it was Disney Plus Day, where that little teaser came out, and Kamala said this one line, and I sobbed uncontrollably for like 10 minutes. I was like, oh god. But it was a line where she was like, brown girls from Jersey are never the heroes, and I'm like, listen. I immediately like texted her, and I was like, can we please talk about this, because it's just like, ugh, and plus let me just say the MCU has been very bland for the past couple of years
lot of
until
mayonnaise.
now.
Mhm.
A lot of mayonnaise.
A lot of
No
mayonnaise.
Oh, come on.
sriracha.
her show's coming soon. It's
Yeah.
this year,
Very
right?
soon.
Like, I mean,
Exciting.
I have my skepticisms about her power set and stuff, but
Yeah.
they
Mhm.
cast her so
So well.
perfectly. Seeing
So
like her
well.
is like the actress, I forget her name, but she
Iman
posed.
Vellani. I'm so
Yeah,
excited.
she posts on
Toronto.
Instagram and stuff too. You know.
Toronto
But-
represent. That made me so
From-
happy.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that so much. But and she loves the character so much, and she seems so perfect. So it makes me a little
Yeah.
disappointed. I'm like, oh, how are they gonna shift the story too much? And I know there was some other weird casting things of
Yeah.
not getting like Pakistani
Mm-hmm.
actors to play her parents and stuff too. And it's like,
Yeah.
okay, like Marvel, you're still not great, but
Yeah,
she's so
it's-
perfect.
Yeah. I think it's so important. Like, even though like religion shouldn't be the whole thing, I think it's important for a big cinematic universe like this to show different cultures and different religions. Like we saw just the littlest things in Shang-Chi that made us cry, like him taking off his shoes in his house.
Yeah. That
like
wicked fishbowl.
that that fishbowl.
I always gotta bring that up. It was like, dang, that's a cool ass fish tank.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
No,
Go ahead.
go ahead.
Oh, I just that TikTok that I made about like Katie, Shang-Chi, and Wong all singing karaoke. I know a lot of people like thought it was funny. I'm like, no, you don't get it. This is like an Asian thing.
Yeah, this is
We
what
all
we
do
do.
Love karaoke.
Like, because I mean, I grew up pretty white.
Mhm.
And when I went to university, like my university, we're engineering. There's a large Asian population. So I learned like karaoke for the first time. Oh my god, it's such a game changer. Like the joy they have just like being drunk singing in the room with the little party lights on.
You'll be best
It's
friends in 20
100%
minutes.
accurate.
Everyone's best friends in 20 minutes.
You just sneak in your own bottle of soju and it's like
I've made some of the best friends I've had in a karaoke bar. Oh my god, like the one time, I don't want to talk about this story because I got like blackout drunk at that last time. We sang the Sonic Adventure 2 song, City Escape. I don't know how I found that in the little thing, but I saw it and we sang it like twice.
that's amazing.
Yeah.
Let It Go is always on the soundtrack for me,
Yeah.
because you just do that at the end and your voice is broken and you're trying to belt this out.
Yeah.
But Kamala doing karaoke, she would have so much fun.
Yeah.
She would just be nerding out, and
Especially she would
my
just
God.
be freaking out with like all the like other superpowered people around her too, just geeking out.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm so
I
excited.
think
that-
I think
that-
these new characters are like a big step, even though it's taken this damn long.
and they're not always perfect,
And
but
they're not perfect.
Shout outs to, since I'm Latino, shout outs to America Chavez, who's also coming into the MCU. Socha Gomez, who's going to be in Multiverse of Madness.
Multiverse of
And
Madness.
shout outs to Gabriel Luna, who will return as Ghost Rider. That's not confirmed yet. I'm just.
Socha Gomez is so cute. She's so precious.
Yeah.
I follow her on TikTok, and I'm like,
She has a TikTok?
yeah, she's a TikTok.
Oh, man,
She
what are we
does.
doing?
Come on. So
Like, I've been
listen
vocally
to
like
the Voices of Alice.
hesitant about the people who cast her,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
she's such a sweetheart.
No. The actress.
It's just,
is
like it's
great.
never about her. It's
No,
just
it's never about
about
her.
like the execs, and I'm just like,
Yeah, never send hate to the actors or
Yeah.
actresses that
Yes.
get cast.
because she's like,
They are
oh,
doing their job.
such an amazing role. to
Except
get,
that Sokka
you know.
actor. Can we talk about that real quick?
Oh, fuck him.
Bro,
Let us talk about that.
he
'cause
lied
that's-
about being a
He
native.
signed up for a fake indigenous tribe.
Bro, you don't do that.
Didn't think he would get
My jaw dropped when I saw that. I
I'm
was
so
like,
broken about it.
the audacity of white people.
The Caucasian.
we were so close, you guys.
We were, man.
so close.
to perfection. We were almost
All the
there.
other castings were so perfect.
We got an Azula. We got Suki. We got who else we have? We have Katara. I don't know. They haven't casted Toph yet.
No,
Uncle
Toph was in season
Iroh.
Zuko.
Hannah, do you watch a lot of Avatar? There's only like
3
Yeah.
seasons. But it just
it's good.
screw that guy. Well, like what?
Yeah.
Yeah,
All
so
right. Well,
I think we're coming
coming to the wrap
Yeah.
up.
coming to wrap up.
Wow. What a good show.
That's a good show.
That's a
We do
good
miss
show.
Johnny though.
I miss Johnny. Johnny's my chaotic balance in my logical reasoning. He always brings up different ways to murder people. So I needed to come up with
Yeah.
a couple today.
You only got like arson in there.
Yeah, I mean, year of vengeance, you know? Gotta keep up, gotta stay on brand.
Oh, did everybody see the Moon Knight trailer?
Oh, yeah.
The Moon Knight trailer. It was dropped Monday of this week. If you're listening in the future,
Featuring our
It was-
Latino space daddy. I love that guy.
Oh,
that
I'm so excited.
Hannah,
We're
what did you
Oh my
think
goodness,
on
yeah.
this trailer? Did you watch it?
Of Moon Knight.
Yes.
I thought that there was a lot going on.
Yeah.
I'm excited because I love Oscar Isaac, so I don't know how much that clouded my judgment of the trailer, but
Perfectly valid reason.
No, it's completely valid. We're all.
I mean, I'm excited for it. I have no idea what it's like. I have no idea where they're gonna go with it exactly.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And I kind of have been avoiding spoilers and like anything about it. So
That's fair. Yeah.
my take of the trailer was like,
It was
Oscar Isaac,
amazing.
buddy. Yes.
It was really good. The only thing that like threw me off was the accent. Like it's like I think
Oh my God,
Oscar Isaac knows because he was mocking his own accent when he was watching the trailer, and I feel like that they need to stop making him do those accents because I remember I think it was like the teaser on Disney Plus Day where he's like something I can't even do it. He's like every day in my waking life, and I was like, excuse me, sir, what did you say?
You want to say that again? It's
Like there's some moments where it's a good accent. Like there was one where he's like, I've lost the contact lens. Like, some are good, but like that first line in the trailer really like threw me off. I was like, excuse me.
Like, sir? Sir? But oh man, that trailer in the date. Great song choice, Day and Night by Kid Cudi.
yeah.
Especially like because that whole song too is very transitional, I guess, like in an intoxicated state
Yeah.
of not quite knowing
Yeah.
what's real, what's not, and like the whole nightmare can't tell what's
Concept,
real concept. Oh, such a perfect fit, and it slaps.
It does.
And it makes me feel very old when people are like, "Oh my god, that song was good. What was it?" And I'm like,
What do you
What
mean,
do you-
dog?
what?
"Old."
What do you mean?
What?
What?
It's good. That's what it is. Oh,
Oh,
man.
it's a theory that it was a bad accent.
Oh, that like the accent belongs to like one of the
The
personalities.
personality.
Yeah.
I think
for one of the
though I
alters.
don't. I mean, like again, I'm not knowledgeable in DID, so it's like hard to say.
I think it could be. I'm fairly sure it is a possibility that if alters switch, it is definitely like there are speech patterns will
Oh,
switch
okay.
as well. Like
Because
maybe not in voice. Maybe sometimes it's an intentional thing with the voice, but speech patterns.
yeah, I think accents do change with different alters. Because I just feel like if seeing like the Moon Knight suit and you just hear that voice.
Yeah.
Yeah, Wiccan's also giving some confirmation too that alters can have the different speech patterns and apparently different allergies as well, which is
Interesting.
very interesting.
Oh, that's cool.
But
We do
yeah,
encourage.
that is.
I'm sorry. We do
I was,
encourage. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead. You go ahead. We do encourage you go listen to creators that are knowledgeable about like DID and like mental conditions. We don't know much. We only speculate. But we only look to respect people here. So we
And
encourage
please
you.
let us know if there are any creators that we should check out their
listen to.
content
Yeah,
and-
exactly.
and learn about, because I'd love to learn about something
Yeah.
like that, because like obviously I don't want to learn from a comic book, because
Yeah, the comic books
comic
in
book.
history have, the early ones were pretty like very racist and stuff too. So, but yeah, I was just gonna say the same thing as Nick is, since in the comics Moon Knight does have DID, it will be a theme that will be brought up and talked about. We see it in the trailer. That's very critical to his character. But yeah, be very careful talking about it. Do a lot of your own research. Don't just wait and harass creators for it. That is just impolite and a mental taxing load. But there is a lot of great information on DID. I got to learn a bunch in university. I did a bunch of psych. So like there's
It's
kind of an
there.
interest of mine, but again, I don't have DID. I don't know how their people's systems work, and just so look it up, figure out what's the best way to speak on it. And if you feel like I want to talk about it, but I don't know if this could be offensive, maybe hold back.
Yeah.
Like, and if you want to theorize around the DID and the different alters, hold back for now. This is just my general advice. Wait until at least a few episodes come out and we hear from the DID community of what they're saying. Because everyone deserves accurate representation, and we can't just theorize DID as if it's not a real thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because people have systems, and it's very real, and it's not, because movies like Split apparently are very bad.
Yeah.
With that representation and harmful stereotypes and tropes. So again, be careful.
Be
again,
better.
Too, like people talking about like the deafness in Hawkeye. Some people were like theorizing, some people saying this and that, it's good or bad representation, but again, you're not really the group.
We're not
You're not the group, and unless you are. So listen, learn, and then amplify the voices that you hear from. So,
and that's what we
but
do.
I'm excited
here
for Moon Knight, and we're
the Voices
definitely
of
going
Atlas.
to be doing weekly watch parties.
Oh yeah,
on
that's gonna be
Stream
exciting.
Lounge.
Never speak for anybody else. Only speak for yourself. That's what I like to say.
I like that. Cool.
Got really deep.
So deep. Ending on a cautionary.
We're educational here.
Yeah, no, like that's what we do. Like we're here and we talk about diversity and our perspective, but we also know we're not all the perspectives. And just because, like, oh, I can speak on X, Y, and Z.
And we get to have many different like takes and views. Thank you, Hannah, for coming on our show today.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Get to provide some insight. Yeah, so much fun.
Yeah. Oh, so Wiccan was saying that people are already being awful to creators with DID, harassing them about Moon Knight and the disorders. So, yeah, don't ever ask.
Yeah.
If they're posting about it, listen and do your own research. But yeah. Thank you. Like I love the different perspectives, as you mentioned. We have Hannah today.
Yeah.
Another different perspective, and it's just I love chatting with all y'all.
Yeah, it's always
and
fun.
It's not harmful to ask questions.
Yeah.
Everybody has the right to be curious.
Exactly. Be curious.
Yeah.
All right.
Just don't be aggressive. Be nice.
Be good. Be better.
But thank you, Hannah, for coming on our show.
Yeah, Hannah, thank you so much.
You're awesome. Everyone should follow and check out Hannah.
Yes, please.
Do you have any last words, last thoughts, wrapping up?
Any
Just plug
projects?
yourself.
Any ideas? Anything you want to say to the world?
Anything you want to plug?
I just am excited for more Asian representation, honestly, going into phase 4, and like hopefully that affects the rest of mainstream media, because it's been largely missing. I know a lot of minorities feel the same way, but I am excited that Asians are finally able to. I feel like we're finally getting some traction in Hollywood, which is nice.
Yes.
So I'm just excited for that, for more representation.
Yeah, it's good. We're all excited.
We rise.
But yeah, everyone go follow Hannah.
Please.
You're at your Fave Asian, Fave Asian, basically.
Yes, please follow Hannah.
Everywhere, I'm pretty sure. Everywhere.
Woo. Make it easy.
Are you going to be watching High School Musical with us tomorrow?
I'm going
You're
to.
gonna try.
Woo.
Perfect. So
Man.
if you want to see more of Hannah or hear more of Hannah,
Join us
we'll be
tomorrow.
around. We
Yeah.
have High School Musical. We have times to hang out. And Laiba, where can we find you?
You can find me on TikTok at Mixed and Anxious, and also on Instagram at Laiba Hazara. I hope to be posting more. Hopefully doing a watch party soon for The Punisher. I
Yeah.
hope.
We will
Maybe.
post about it on Twitter, Instagram, the Discord.
Yeah.
Look out for that.
Yeah. And I will be joining tomorrow's watch party for High School Musical. It is my moment. This is my Robbie Reyes.
This is my spirit
It's
of
our
vengeance.
Avengers Endgame. We have Marissa in the chat too saying we're all in this together, and we're gonna have what?
You guys are gonna break the website. You guys are really gonna break the website.
Check out our check out our Instagram to see who else is gonna be there, because it's a lot of people.
It's a lot of
A
people.
lot of cool creators. It's a lot of people.
You guys don't break anything.
Sorry, Mark.
Sorry, Mark.
Hey, shout outs to Mark, dude.
Mark seemed excited when we mentioned it on stream yesterday, so it should be fun.
Okay, fantastic.
Yeah. Nick, where can we find you?
You can find me almost everywhere. Amazing Nick Kendra. You can find me streaming here on Twitch every Tuesdays and Mondays. I'm gonna make it a regular thing after I get back from my little vacation. But usually I've been drawing a lot. I've been talking a lot of I always talk about representation on my page. Usually yelling. That's usually the mood that I'm given. But yeah, you can find me on TikTok. You can find me on Instagram if you want to catch my art. You can find my coffee page if you want to support me. All under the same name, Amazing Mackenzie. So yeah, guys, be better. All right,
Yeah,
that's it.
Go check out Nick's streams too, because he's the fabulous guy who brought us all of our avatars. If you're watching on Twitch, you can see Hannah's little Yennefer avatar, which is the sweetest. And I love that because I love The Witcher as well. And he also did the emotes here on Twitch. I mean, he has his own on his Twitch channel, but the Voices of Atlas one are extra awesome because I'm an emote too, and Laiba's an emote, and it's we're spamming it in the chat. It's perfect. It's just
they're freaking cute. They're cute, and I love them.
So yeah, you can get that if you sub to us on Twitch, or if you join our Discord, you can use them there for free. Because we have a Discord.
Yes.
If you just go to voicesofatlas.com, you should find the Discord link there. Easy to find, easy to remember. And that's where you can also find the links to everything else. We have our Twitch, we have the Apple Podcast, we have Spotify Podcast, Google Podcasts.
5 stars.
5 stars. We'd love for you guys to give us some ratings and just show us some support. And if you really, really want to and you really want to support the show, leave us a really positive review. We love you for it.
Yeah.
And we'll probably shout you out on stream as well.
Yeah, we read them. Read them last
And we
time.
also have a YouTube channel too. So if you miss the VOD, you like more visual things in the background, we're on YouTube. And also Johnny puts clips on there too sometimes.
Yeah,
which is
Johnny
pretty
has
fucking awesome.
We have a very good segment on there.
We really do. And if you're trying to learn more about our schedule, because we've been pumping up the streaming on Stream Lounge, as we mentioned, High School Musical Endgame tomorrow. We have WandaVision Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. We should be, or at least I should be hosting on the Voices of Atlas channel streams every Wednesday at our normal time. But you'll find all that schedule information on Instagram and Twitter. I've been having a lot of fun with the graphics.
Yeah, we are pumping out content this year.
we are stepping up the game.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Hopefully you don't get sick of us because it's all a great time.
Yeah, it's fun.
I wake up to something new every single
Honestly,
morning.
it's been like a joy every day. It's like
Victoria's like, I got this done. I got this done.
Yeah, and if you know, it's a sneaky peek. I got like a whole bunch of graphics done coming up. We got the Moon Knight stuff. We got Free Guy. We got Turning Red. We got I was also going to work on Multiverse of Madness soon. Like, there's
We're working.
a lot
We
doing
got
a lot.
on the red carpet for that one.
Book of Boba Fett stuff I have done. Like, we're
getting there, guys.
gonna be good.
We're gonna be on that red carpet very soon. We're gonna be in the writers' room before you know it.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna be hanging out with Kevin Feige.
Yo, take one of
Yo,
his hats.
Kevin. Well, I want one of those hats. So bad.
I want his hat collection. So
Okay.
bad.
All right then.
But I
Right.
think this is all. So thank you everyone who joined on stream. If you have the sub, send Laiba heart emojis because we love you. And
Yay.
thank you all for joining and being able to talk Black Widow with us and Hannah because
Yeah, that's great. All right, guys. Thank you so much. Goodbye.
Bye.